Hello there. So, here's the thing. It is, and still is a very long journey on this. Because let me explain this to you. In order to get to where the hell I got, even, or to even explain what I'm about to explain, you need to put two pieces of puzzles that you didn't even notice, or some of you don't even want to put together because you're so stubborn on putting them together that this is why this subject is such a debate for some people. And for me, I kind of understand certain things. Life. Life is just life. Let me start with that. You come here just to live and have a life and enjoy it and be the best person that you can. And if you have those moments in life when you can't be that good person, because sometimes you just want to smack a person or two, just breathe in, breathe out, and know that it just are just small moments, and then they go away, and then whatever, you keep going on. Now, moving on. I decide to go on this journey, on this self searching journey, where you just, technically speaking, sit down and study yourself from what are your attitudes, your mannerisms, your beliefs, your who you think you are. Technically speaking, it started from studying to stripping it to then becoming something else. It just started from me wanting to know more about myself and taking care of myself to a turn that I didn't even expect nor wanted nor even knew that it was an option. It's so crazy and insane that anyone who hears it would say you went fucking crazy and insane. And guess what? I have found such happiness at the end of this tunnel. It's something different. When I started, I decided to do the whole meditation thing. When I was born, the first thing I told my mother, I want to go to the Himalayas, become a monk, and find enlightenment. I want to be enlightened. I want to be a person of faith or whatever. I want to go in the mountains and hum away and Obi-Wan away and whatever. But the more I kept doing this, I had to, like, I was seeing some things, like things from my past. I was waking up. My shaman, my witch part, my past life memories were coming back to me. I was remembering things from the past. They were so vivid and real. They were mine. I live a life knowing that I have magic in me. Well, we call it magic. There is some science behind it, but we call it that. As I continue on to do these meditations and I continue to connect and talk more with these spirits, or me trying to connect with God, with me, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to connect with God, with you. I started to connect, to finally to connect and talk to my angels. And there were some other ideas and perceptions that were coming into surface. As I was a child, I always had curiosity for the living of other things. I said, hey, if God created us, He created life in other planets. He created more than just us. Something in me tells me that we have family in other planets. I decided to add God into the freaking science experiment and say, hey, He made more, and I want more of that. And I guess the universe heard me, because eventually that's what happens. When you want to know more, you do end up making contact with spirits, entities, and other beings when you ask for it. You just have to sit down and ask for it. What happened is that when you sit down and you strip yourself of all the crap that isn't yours, because some of your self-worth comes from your self-growth, and it's a childhood. When that dirt is taken out of the flower, the diamond in the rough, when all that dirt and all that stuff is being cleared out and you're clean and you're starting to see clear, you start to understand other things. You start to see other things. You start to remember things because you cleared yourself, because you forgave people, because you forgave yourself, because you saw where people were causing you harm. And in turn, say spiritually, you also grow in other aspects of yourself, meaning you evolve. How you feel, all these feelings, all this stuff is tied in. Why you think new children are having some weird panic attacks for no reason at all, even though they never went to war? That's something. That's saying something. If we study more about the grid, we will understand more. So here's the kicker. The more I kept meditating and talking to my angels, I ended up figuring out that question, yeah, eventually does pop in. Everyone wants to know. And yes, there is more life after in other planets. But they said, are you willing to believe? Are you willing to be okay with this? Are you willing to know the truth? And here's the thing. Once you start knowing more about the truth, there are things about your beliefs and your, like, I had so many heartbreaks about my belief, especially spiritual ones too, scientific ones, all kinds of like crazy stuff that if you learn how to channel and keep in touch with yourself, you end up meeting them. The aliens, yup, because I can just as easily have a conversation with Jesus standing next to an Arcturian or a tall white. I don't like talking about the grays. Just as easily talk to both of them in the same room. Why? Because we are one. We are the universe. We are connected. We are one soul. Ooh, that's where the spiritual or the religious part comes in. Yep. And that's where the aliens said, that's where they lose us. Every time we talk about that shit, it's not shit. Every time we talk about that stuff, people go, it ain't true. And then there goes connection. You gotta understand, God gave us a brain to use, to become smart, to use it for other things. What makes you think that science and spirituality isn't combined together? And what makes you think that you need to have always a physical touchdown with aliens? Unfortunately, who knows when we're gonna have a physical one? I mean, once we hit Mars, I'm hoping you know how to take care of the people that live inside the bunker. Because there's people living in Mars right now, inside a bunker. Unless they're all dead now. I don't know. It's been so long since the last time I meditated and transported over there. Again, if you believe in meditation and all that stuff, because meditation can get you can astral travel to other planets and understand this stuff. But do you believe? Can you do it? All in your mind. Can you do that? My dear UFO seeker, I know when I was a child, I wanted to know all about UFOs. I was not expecting this turn of events either, but whether or not you believe me, that's up to you. But this is my experience. I talk to aliens and angels, spirits. Oh, and 2 more heartbreaks. Demons aren't real. Those are made up. And ghosts aren't real. That's the grid activated because of hard emotions. Again, if we understood how the grid works, we will be able to do more. Even fix our paranormal activity situation. Yeah, we need to start putting science and spirit together. Otherwise, we're not going to go ahead anywhere. That's what they're asking of us. Are we believers of beyond what we think we know? And that is the hardest part to do. That is the hardest part to do. Mwah. Good luck in your endeavors.